everyone, it's Professional High Priestess. And I just want to say that I have a message for the Divine Masculines and for the feminines watching and for the collective. And this message I got yesterday, we, I guess it's that time of the year. Um, we are going into Aries season. I was like, oh, I felt that move. Okay, ooh. Hey, okay, well, damn. Aries season has started with bang and tower and AY. And wait, oh, okay, there, well, wait. Shit, and it's just really like, blam, right? So the bimasculine, and right now what's currently going on with you is the overall message that you need to know. And I'm gonna do all signs and look at as I crack open the deck, you got judgment. The overall message that it was here for the divine masculine was like it's time for action. Action's gonna be taken. And for this one, I'm gonna use the African American channel. Yeah. All right, guys, let's get spirals out too. All right, so yeah, sorry. Definition of words. Okay, definition of the masculine is going to be on this side. Okay, the masculine force now is experiencing a rapid change as well as the feminine force is equal. So that's what we're all getting in alignment, right? So the masculine force and the feminine force is equal, and that's why we're all getting in alignment. But what's happening with the masculine is warfare is going to be the name of the game, period. And what I'm hearing is there's going to be an epidemic of violence or a attraction to violence or a romance with violence, right? Or an intellectual engagement with violence, right? Or a social engagement with violence, or a very just and reasonable engagement with violence for the divine masculine here. And a lot of masculines are going to be taking up the charge, whether they want to or not, for their own survival and doing what they have to do. Now, on one side, though, and this is where we get the spectrum that we're going to be closing out and opening up what we would call something called penny, which is something that can be adjusted based on the dysfunction and imbalance that may exist in the place, right? These masculines are going to be getting a penny for their thoughts, and a penny or a penny. Right? So these things come from space. So think of a penny as like a reading system. Like, oh, look how big those gold coins are. And a penny could be like 3 in 1. So be like, oh, this is 1, 2, 3, right? Then they take a penny, a literal penny. Oh, okay, let me attach that to that to make it have some value. Then it's, and what's the change, right? One here will be current penny. This one will be up until 19 something, 80, 90s. This one will be like before 1960s, right? So think about that. Now these masculines are going to be going through these type of portal functions, and they already are. And this could actually be a warning for somebody like right now, like be careful, right? And there's 55 people and 22 likes, right? And 319 again. So I say that to say, now that these portal functions have been activated, they cannot stop and they cannot close. Now, whether those portal functions are going to like align with your nervous system and ESP, where you get to work with it and you find that there's a force trying to stop that, like, okay, I'm really lit, or you're going to succumb to your own drama and air quiet and your own destabilization of your own portal functions and like fall off. And now this one is the one. This one for this one. Now this is divination board I'm going to be using as well. This divination board I'm going to be using. Okay, this is how. Now, this divination plan for the masculine here is saying there's a specific force that has been invoked. There's a specific force that has been invoked here that cannot be stopped. That force is going to carry what we call the Ekroatasai, the trifecta of death, madness, chaos, looting, vandalism, lawlessness, recklessness, vigilantism, complete and utter lack of control, disrespect of the sacred, desecration of what's sane and sacred, such as children, women, family, the high priest, the high priestess, studying, being close to God, getting close to nature, working with the animal kingdom, the kingdom of the guacatazi, the kingdom of the herbs, the kingdom of the crystals, the psychedelic reality, the identical reality, and the indigenous reality that is not on planet Earth. what is now happening is everyone is getting aligned, whether you like it or not. That reality exists. People are starting to see how brujeria, madness, chaos with magic and spell work, purity of blood, love spells, and everything like that. And something that is going to be discussed but cannot be discussed here now because it is too foul. It's going to be on my Patreon. It will cause too much warfare. And it's 10-10 as I say that. That's a portal function. Let me just close that real quick. We see, it's going to come down. So what now will happen is there has to be a complete alignment because of the major imbalance that was created by force, by manipulation, by extreme delusion and chaos and nonsense. So far gone that it created so much of an imbalance that several people have died, several planets have been destroyed, several ecosystems have been destroyed and as well as renewed. Several species have been lost, several race federations have been gone, and they will now leave planet Earth. It's just a master reset. Just get with it. So now the masculine force has adjusted to the fact that it's warfare, and that's okay. I have tools of the trade. It seems as if because I'm warring for God, I'm warring for peace, that I'm winning. It seems as if because I have done the right thing in the situation, I am now going to be benefiting from the fruit of my labors, which is constant and consistent warfare for God. Because in one moment I have realized I have one eye, and in that one eye is warfare for those who are enemies of God. And then in another moment I realize I have another eye, and in that eye is complete, total, and utter destruction, death, suffering, pain, and chaos, and earwide for the enemy of the children of God. And that is done. What will happen now is I will have to make a choice, whether I like it or not. Whether I like it or not, people will have to die. Whether I like it or not, individuals will have to perish. What the decision that I must make here is what side I want to be on, because it is done. It is written in stone. Everything must adjust. There are several systems that we know by name, but we must now know them by that we know by name, but we must now know them by their specific function in our life. It is not enough just to know what a system is. You have to incorporate it. It's not enough to know a hood. You must incorporate it. It's not enough to know, oh, be spiritual. You have to incorporate it. It's not enough to know you're a hitter. Incorporate. Oh, I'm a developer. Incorporate. It's not that. But on the spiritual aspect, or you will not survive. This is the holographic reality now screaming. This divination here is done. There are only 4 air intelligences. Do what you want with them. Those who understand this, you will take an earth element, a water element, an air element, and fire element, and create what you need to, all connected to air. Fire and air is electricity. Water and air is something that you call sleer, a specific type of substance like cloud, cotton candy when it's very hot, barely being made because the force of physics, aka the spin spiral, helps create that. Earth and air is something that we call steel, forks, knives, things like that. Think about that. Wow. Are you sharp like a knife? And then you will also have fire, air as well. And like I said, that was the electricity. Oh, air and air. Air and air is what you would call an aquicure. So that's like vinegar, alcohol, that type of thing. Okay. I'm glad that we're on the same page, that this is all just some type of form of chemistry. Now, this holographic reality that's coming down is one where you don't understand like what that really looks like, right? So think about this. You're on planet Earth where you've now seen a different type of reality, but you know one exists. Now, what's going to end up happening is you start to embody that. You're going to see more of what you want. That's actually here now. A lot has happened. A lot of warfare was waged, and it's 1013 as I say that. A lot of warfare was waged. A lot of nonsense was done. Misuse and abuse of the spiritual realm. So created a master reset. Now I can move in this reality because I know who I am. So I'm read my Akasha. I know my gifts. I know what I need to do. Now, if I want to engage in something, it's not if I want to, it's if God called me there. What I will now see is if something is not for me, it won't be for me, period. I can't force anything. If God told me to be a hitter and blow your head off, I have to do that, just period. So now what's going to have to happen is niggas need to just get in line and know that if you want to play games and start shit, you're just going to get hit up, period. The mob is here and that's it. With no more dishonorable shit and we can have fun. But guess what? I'm going to have fun mobbing on you because you wanted to start some shit. So hey, hi. Right. So now because you want to start some shit, you put your life in my hand. Wow. So now look, I'm the judge, juror, and executioner, and that's just done. So now look, hey, I'm going that way, meaning that I'm going into a specific direction that's going to invoke a force of physics so stable, strong, and swift that it completely destabilizes any bullshit or nonsense that you wanted to bring here. And you just have to know that that's just period. Because bitch, don't kill my vibe, right? You felt a wave, you felt an energy, know it's real. So why were you trying to tamper with it? Obviously, there is war here now, and I have to respect the fact that I'm going to war over my energy, connection to my higher self, most high, to have peace, to have health, and to make friends, to work in my community, etc. Have fun with that, and move forward. So, like, think about things like this. And I want to give you guys an example for some of these masculines. Some of you guys now are, getting out of jail. Some of you guys now are dealing with stuff with, your baby mama or stuff like that. Some of you guys are getting back with your twin. Some of you guys are finding about your karmic or your baby mama, your family, shit like that. People in the spell were doing too much. Some of you guys found out you were getting set up by the feds and a bunch of shit was going on. You guys are now like, okay, I'm a hitter now, but I'm hitting. God is giving me this and this and that. 88 people in the chat. So people are now, now you are coming 10:15. You are now coming to the realization here, right? That, oh, now because senseless warfare was waged on me, I can now return it. But the funny thing is, here. Remember that you have 4 of those elements left on this board. You can see right here. Right? It's how you do it. In the air element, that's like, oh, you're gonna get pernilled, right? In the earth element, that's like, oh, let me play with gold, metal, I can get cars, different things like that. Steel element, right? Or let me like learn how to build like empire. Maybe I want to get into real estate development. Those type of things. Okay. Then you have fire, air. Oh, maybe I want to get into like make like entertainment, like different type of things like that. You have a range because the enemy put it in your hand. So you are going to be given resources and pathways and tools and to be able to facilitate the changes that you need to make in your reality, and it's all real, and that's great. Think of it as like this like big, great, like fun Grand Theft Auto game that's totally legal. And then you got the Knight of Wands, and then there's the King of Pentacles. Wow. And then there's the Nine of Cups. You can have whatever you like. Yeah. Right. And then there's Peter, the high priest. Hey, high priest. Hey, high priest. And who was Peter? My big bunny, the high priest. Peter. Oh, and I want to say something like, right? So look at that, high priest. Oh, because you did that, now I can take all your money. Oh, because you did that, now I can stabilize your group. Now because you did that, you put, whoa, in my hand. Wow. Now I mysteriously, I don't have it. Mysteriously, I don't have it, right? Now look at Peter, the high priest here. This is funny because I have gone through something like this, masculine. Peter, my bunny, he's a hash. Now, something that's happened is Peter's such a high priest that so much has come out. This is actually very disrespectful to him as a high priest. This is the Knight of Cups, right? For them to have portrayed him like this, even though he's very much of a high priest in the Federation. The idiot that's actually on top of him got killed. Right? It's so funny because he has that exact face. So it's like, because you thought that you were gonna like do this to me, right? And like start a bunch of shit. Like, look what happened. The Hermit Reverse. The Hermit Reverse is an assassin, right? And then here's the Knight of Swords. Like, wow, how many times did you get hit with that Uzi? Because the Knight of Swords is like something that moves with the air intelligence, right? So that's like, oh shit, like it's a tactical ops, like blah blah blah, like sniper type of shit, right? So like air and earth would be like you have a 9mm, right? Your Beretta, but it's like those old ones that you have to like kind of cock back and fill up like individually on this side or that side, or like one by one, and that's a thing. It doesn't have like a clip, right? And then air and water will be like a spear or a bayonet, or maybe just drowning you, right? Or like maybe just like Avatar, right? Even better, right? Or like Avatar, the Aang and Katara, right? We're just like bending the elements, like, oh right, oh right. So because they did that, this happened, and this masculine and this energy right here is coming up because it's masculine. This is like basically what's happening right now, right? Somebody thought that they were gonna do that to you, started hella shit, like, oh, I'm drunk though, like, so you were already like reversed, right? And the rapper's like, wow, like I was supposed to be going that way, and how did this happen? I need to get him away from me. And it's like, at one point now, this individual that's playing whatever the situation is, the individual, et cetera, they have to get what the fuck they deserve. This Nine of Swords, ridiculous. Nine of Swords. Yeah. And every single sword that this karma threw at you, blam. But then, dun, 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 right? And this right here, look at that man with the right rubber band man. Wow, this is Taliban. Look at him running with the gas mask on and the light, right? Meaning, oh, I thought I found something, but then bam, Nine of Swords. I hit something that brought terror and chaos and nonsense. Nine of Swords. This hermit with the Nine of Swords it's a nightmare on Elm Street. 88 people in the chat. I say that. I get mashed with those 223s. Again, who's born November 19th? It's to 19. So it's like, because when you think of the hermit, right? They say the hermit is like, I study and I get into knowledge. What we talked about with these pennies and these spirals. But like there's also death spirals. Like I said, in one eye, is complete and total and utter warfare, chaos and destruction for those who are enemies of God. Why? Those are enemies of the children of God. That's an unheard reverse. Meaning I've gone deep down, right? Deep into chaos and earwax on 1020 judgment. First God report to really, really get into you and deal with you. And this is saying like if I'm coming back up, I'm still gonna be reversed. Wow, so that means I'm coming with you, right? Then I'm gonna be in the upright, then going that way. Because you have to come down here because you want to start some shit. So somebody's realizing like, oh, I wanted to take you down there and start a bunch of shit or play games with you like this. And wow, I'm now done, right? Because now the hermit done come, right? That's done. That means that the mortuary is about to be here. Whew, the mortician here. Wow. And guess what? Shit, I'm the apprentice, right? That's what the rapper said, since you wanted to try this bullshit. Now, the funny thing is, when you see this, you're like, oh, what you have to understand too is the rabbit is the high priest. He's the high priest. Rabbits carry high vibrational equations for hash. So for me, when I went through my warfare and people were starting shit with me, I'm the only person on planet Earth that knows how to make like hashish in my kitchen. Right. And hella people got hit up playing with me, starting hella shit. And it destabilized entire fucking economies and communities. Like, my bunny is hash. And that's Peter the high priest. His brother Hazel was my bunny when I was growing up. I had bunnies, rabbits. And then he's a hash. And then his wife Angel, she's pure white. She's hash too. She's a rose hash. I named that one the Donald Glover. He knows he's telling the truth. Right. That's like Nine of Cups energy too. Slow down. And then you see your mate right there, like, oh shit, wait, hold up. After going through that Five of Pentacles out in the cold and snow, right? After going through like, this is like hardcore, wow, it's raining in the snow. I may live in the UK and shit like that. I can't get any pussy. I have no money, like $5 to my name, and my shoes are like socking because some nonsense, right? After you went through that type of bullshit, and then look, right? Slow down. Right? And then you see the high priestess, Tiana Nazu Guaza. Here you go. That's amazing. Now one sword. There is a sword, clarity and truth. What's that? So now someone's gonna come. So now, what does that have to do with me? Now, as a divine feminine, if you are really subtle with your mate, 1022. If you are really subtle with your mate, why would you want him to constantly be worried about you and this and this and that? What if are you battling the karmic? Are you love? Good thing. And that's like a first for are you sure you love me? But look, you're the Queen of Pentacles with the 4 wands. Just stop it. I don't think that you're knowing what you're doing. But look, you want to know something like about that, like right here though? It's like when you see these in the spiritual realm, that means they're about to start a world war. These are actually real. They're like white men in the spiritual realm that run around these gas mask aliens that start hella shit. And when you see this, it's like, oh, we're about to start a bunch of war. But look at the 9 of Swords right here. And then you have the 9 of Cups out too. And there's dual energy. There's the air and water intelligence that's not mixing. And this air and water intelligence lives in Gemini energy that's hella unstable, going back and forth. This lives in Piscean energy, very delusional in the mind, like thinking high ideal thoughts, but like no execution because like you can't like I'm about to dive in the ocean, but take off your shoes. Somebody's like walking on like water. And drowning too, and then all in this air. And then the other aspect of this air water intelligence is Scorpio, where it's like harsh water delusion, very, very, very intense. And then air driving it. Keep on going. Make it go faster. I don't want to do that. Keep on going. Wait. If I can get different forms, wings, give me the serpent, give me the water one, give me everything. Make it go faster. Just very intense and ratchet. And then scorpionic energy is also what form of water will I get into for ear quiet? Is it emotional? Oh, you're my baby mama, I love you. And then hold for me. Is it, oh, you're my brother, and then I'm secretly jealous setting you up with your bitch or your mama or your partner or some shit like that. Right? Oh, I'm gonna fuck up your money because you don't want to share with me. Bullshit like that. Oh, you did that, you're late, or I'm gonna stay woman, I don't want to acknowledge that. Let me drive madness. The more I get into that, you're watch it, I'm gonna show you, yeah, you can show the night of wants black. Right? There's that energy that was out here on this table too. These masculines are dealing with that. These masculines are dealing with that. BSPs. Me personally, me and my masculine. What? We know it's war, right? And she texting purple hearts because she know how we are war. Period. Now hands across America because now divine feminine, divine masculine. It's like there has been a bridge that has been built, right? Look at this map of America. Starting here is something that they call the 37 superhighway. And it's like all on the longitudinal line of 37 on a map. And because of the drama, chaos, and warfare that you and your masculine have gone through, and think of that as like battles won, and now you can move across the map for like a war. And then when you get to like wherever point, then a portal function like gets invoked in the boom plan. That's done. This is like the end of all this nonsense, though. So if masculines, if you're dealing with the masculine that's like wanting to plan for this for several more years, that nigga's stupid, goofy, right? And then here you go, you got W.E.B. Du Bois, right? Down to 10th. What page are you on though? I don't, me personally, I say this. I'm looking in the intent, not what people had processed as the impact or the messy fuckery that they were starting, right? I'm looking at a group of individuals who, yes, we're elite because we know we are hyperdimensional. We're not involved in drama. Unfortunately, there's not that many of us, but there could be more. It was 2112 when I said that, right? That's a power. That's the type of portal. Pay attention to these numbers and these bitches inspiration. Right? So now you're like, okay, that's on the 4 of Wands. So okay, we're solid. 4 of Wands is union, being house together, mortgages. When are you gonna move? Okay, what about our lease then? If we're gonna get together, what's this, that paperwork and there's stuff going on too, emissions, stuff like that. Queen of Pentacles though. So there's a Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles here. But with this Hermit and the Nine of Wands, it's like also too, it's like this energy that I'm seeing here with these masculines taking action. It's really like I'm ready to get into my spiritual powers, and I see that divine feminine. You have to understand that is going to be ratchet, yeah. And that's what hood is. And you're masculine. It does not matter what masculine you're dealing with. There has to be an element of hood there. It's not about like, how to portray to be a person of color. That's not what it is, and that's where people fall short. This masculine understands that the hood is the hood. It's the hermit. Hey, how? Wow. Whoa, hey, ooh, okay, wait, hey, okay, well, hold up, right? So now let's get a chemical card on that, right? Because why would the high priest need to come out of the hood, or what's inside of the hood, or now how is the hood going to transform, right? What chemical demon have we now slayed, which is what those different mind totems are talking about in those photos and wheels, right? Slaying chemical demons, but you guys don't know that because you thought it was about cloud chasing and using spells and people's coffee for brujeria and starting shit. Because you're Anika, and Anika's always an op. That was 2237 when I said that. Now, one of the things that you need to understand here is how do you know? Because you guys don't understand the story of the Federations, which these masculines are learning about their bloodline ancestor. They have no choice. Shit is getting blasted across the sky and into their telepathic channels and brain waves and systems and things like that, and they have to evolve, or they're going to start getting die because they're going to play and do stupid shit, and there's that Nine of Swords because they're going to hit that Nine of Wands, right? That Nine of Wands, that rage and nonsense. That's that I just heard your Cardi. My students used to listen to the awesome. I think that's hella funny that he like had that song because that's from space, and he got in trouble for even playing that on planet because those kids got so lit like ahead of time. But and they're all my students, like hella bad, right? And then you have the hermit right here, right? And he's just like, wow, so much energy, right? And it's like, oh, it's like in a good way because it's like, oh, enjoying growth and now knowing that there was always a method to the madness type of thing. So let's keep on looking now. And the High Priest Peter is here for divination. He picked up Rabbi Wesley. Wow, an abomination. But you want to know something about Peter though? That's so funny. He had a brother. He had a brother that was also a cardamom hash. And thank you. Everyone's talking about me for a reason. Are you talking about professional high priest? Oh shit, right? So, we shh, just don't worry. Like you'll see it, and then she lives in my life in the upright. Make me want you, make me miss you, make me wonder where you are, then forget you. Girl, remind me just who we are. We're oh so close, near, but not so. Hey, I'm so sorry. Don't ever call these niggas phone like that, and don't put shit like that in your songs, because they start with portal functions in space and start ripping people into the song and play with vinyls and your love must be a kind of blind love. Dun, dun, da, dun. I can only think of you. Dun. Shabbat Shabbat. Dun. Who's born on November 11th? Or oh, look, and it says 1118. Wow. And this is actually the card that we need to be picking up. And it says uno on an octium. That's so funny. And it's 11 and an 8, right? So, but there's also a portal function. So the 11 can also go with the 8. But it could also be 1 and 18, right? So don't even go too deep into that, right? Unless you have that pathway. What I'm saying here is this Scorpion energy is what's driving a lot of this thing. But this masculine is taking like, oh, you want to play like that? What if I have a certain, well, okay, let's go do that. And now somebody's like, okay, let's continue. Because I feel like somebody's like playing with some like type of like force, and they think it's funny, like somebody that like can play with like fire. It's like having, like, it's like, think of like like Pokemon, like a Cyndaquil or something, or Pikachu, that they can play with fire and electricity, and they just do it on purpose to destroy shit. And then they mama be whooping their ass, and then they can't get sweets and food and stuff like that, and go different places on trips, right? So think of someone like though being very nefarious and ratchet with that type of force, and like doing way too much, and then the moon is involved here with the 18 portal functions. The moon is a portal function, right? And we already showed you that on this place channel. So now think about all this, and we and all that to say in the music and right? The card that we're pulling here for these masculines is this one. Now, this one here is, don't think about what they put on these cards, because it's, look, it says that it's made in Russia, right? Right? Portal functions. And the funny thing why I say that is there's demonic federations on planets here, and their whole purpose is to mix and play games with divine masculines, right? To debilitate them. And they come in the form of the Martian, who claims to be Asian, right? But which one, right? Because I'm dark skinned Asian, so I'll let you figure that out. And then I could be light skinned somewhere else, depending on what soju I drink. Soda ginger, right? So now on one end here, right? So on one end here, they also form as the melanated one, but the melanin is fake. It's been formed through portal functions using plants and spices and things like that that we don't see on planet Earth anymore. Right. So now what's here is, look how it has a question mark. That's a portal function. Because this is funny. This is a Slayer intelligence. So imagine like you're gonna write. This is like right? Think about a Slayer intelligence. You see this here. This is a zigzag, right? Not a riffraff, the white rapper that's robbing everyone and starting shit with the feds, who is also a clone, and that, hey Grady, you so whatever the fuck, Dirty Jackson, whatever the fuck he's talking about, who also is playing with Patrick Swayze in space, and he started hella shit. So now let me look into this. But I was sad when he passed away. Because he played with portal functions on his shows, dancing, right? Invoking a specific fire and air intelligence. And wow, look at us watching this as kids, right? And right, and reading Rainbow, right? Wow. Now, who would have thought? Here is Captain Bob. Now he's jamming in his sub. For those guys who watch Crashbox, and it's 10:33. Now, look at this though. Doesn't this look like this type of intelligence, Slayer? Right? The curve, right? Then at the end, there's a portal function, meaning he doesn't know what the fuck is here. He just wanted to get it on the periodic table of elements, right? So now the funny thing that's here is the simple fact that, right? So what's happening here is this masculine has now gone in. I'm about to dive in the ocean or in space, right? Could be the same thing, and like, am I in water or what, right? Like, there's so many different things going on for these masculines, and it's like Neptune at its highest word, because this masculine has grounded now warfare, and now feminine now is where you and your masculine meet. Who the fuck are you? And are you ready to go to war? Or are you gonna keep on playing? Because let me know, because this shit is serious. And these masculines know that it's serious, and if he thinks it's a game, then let him go play with bitches that talk about shit like rock them niggas, and like running in and out of people's hood. Ooh, Canarsie niggas. Ooh, Toronto niggas. Ooh, shit, Metro Housing niggas. Ooh, shit, East Oakland niggas. Ooh, shit, Inglewood niggas. That were once Kirkwood niggas. Started shit with Birchwood niggas. Heading out to Brentwood niggas. Fucking off in Chicago and Inglewood with those niggas. Started niggas like TSS and KTS, and right? So then all that right there, those different hoods that I named, is federations, right? That have now evolved. Okay, now think of Now, okay, it's called global, right? You have to think local to think globally. Haha. It's like these things that they talk about in these different like social entrepreneurship and sustainability. Yay, conferences. You get your photos, put them on LinkedIn, play games, maybe even cloud chase sometimes. Sometimes, right? Only if you meet a Harris. My mom and my aunt, my aunt, right? Right? And then what ends up happening is you learn these different things and then they can be applied in different places. Like I said, with the masculine, I can now see I can invoke different intelligence on you. So let me see how to get ratchet in several different ways. That's the 9 of Cups too. Like, ooh, shit. Ooh. And then you play that song, Dorothy Ashby. Drink yesterday. Do, do, do. And it's like you're like, ooh, like not at the Jezebels like Handmaid's Tale, right? But like in a better jazz club, like before Chicago got destroyed by white people and nonsense and cyborgians and chemicals and our people that started a bunch of shit and these niggas called Durkio, right? Think about like, wow, like jazz club, 1960s, right? And nice stuff and nice drinks and things like that. I can also make that and they're like psychedelic in my kitchen and it's legal, right? Think about stuff like that. Right? And you get to pick from different cups and ooh, right? And intelligences and all wicked. And then all with your mate, right? And that's why you're coming out like this, divine feminine, right? Because I'm coming out because you also went in the cold and you also went to go mind your business. And you also congregating with this high priestess who told you better stop speculating if he's percolating with another perpetrator and get into your wow. That's how they talk. Just in rhyme like that. She could be a Virgo, or all or none, or right, or on, the one, right? In the middle of the zero, so what? Now look at this with this Queen of Pentacles, A, right? And look in Bounty A, and now in looking C, and now A, and now, and I have now a penny, and I also have a penny. Isn't that interesting? Diamonds and pearls. Hey, if I could, I would give you the world. Would you want to have a boy or a girl? Right? So now you're like in that height now with your masculine, and now because you invoke the air intelligence in the reverse, if you're paying attention to her gown. Wow, you bitches started so much shit. I was sitting in the upright the whole time, so Empress, that I had to get reverse on you and start a bunch of shit. It's 10:37. So I'm gonna invoke Aquarius reverse. We're in that right now, or Libra reverse, or Gemini reverse, or if I look into water, I will also find air. Wow. If I look into fire, I can, hey, now, whoa, let's start a lot of shit, right? Oh, well, hey, meanwhile, wow, right? Chico, that's what's like, dang, right? Right? And think of like those Chinese action movies from like the 1970s where they're doing hella shit, like standing on walls and running around and screaming, die, die, die. And when they get hit, and then it's like those Nigerian movies too, with like the hella bad like spell word graphics, like a portal opens and like some demon comes out or the child appears or something happens, like that type of thing, right? It's like funny like that, but it's like think of that quick action and funny and madness and chaos, but it's like you can have whatever you like, right? But then it's actually like real because the hermit is here. So then it's like Harry Potter on top of that. And it's like, wow, wow, right? There's a lot going on. Oh, hey, right. So now divine masculine. Wow. There's a lot going on. Hey, right. It's Aries season. Whoa. That was explosive, really. Let's continue. Wow. And then there was the Queen of Swords. Wow. Wow. And then the strength card because wow, more pennies. Or like I said, I got a penny for your thoughts or a penny for your thoughts. I got a penny for your thoughts as well. Who wants to start pimping and get 10% with a 10 of Pentacles? Right. And that's the shit that you can start doing for free. I mean, like spiritually or like karma free because you started too much shit. And look, there was your karmic. Titties all out, stomach out with babies. And how many, who God knows, where she got it from, who knows. And here to ask you for some shit. And look at your face. You're like, oh, well, huh? Because ain't this not the same high priestess? Wow. She like comes here with this shit. Wow. So I never changed form. I just like changed my clothes, my outfit, why are you clean? Why are you doing that? Why are you normal? Like I said, I have a penny for your thoughts, or a penny for your thoughts. Or I'm not going to say a sword for your thoughts, right? That's that air intelligence reverse. So now, divine feminine, you're going to start getting mental, like, oh, okay. And going into those deep astral waters, right? To start a lot of shit. Because this our preset, that's fine, right? You got to know my story, yes. This is ridiculous. This is so disgraceful and disgusting, but somebody got hit tough, period. And look at the King of Pentacles. He also has a penny for your thoughts, right? And then boom, you put those together and boom, blam, and portal functions and right? And it's one-on-one people in here, and that's a portal function. Because one on one side and one on the other side, what's in the middle? Right? And when I go, that means I'm like jumping into astral waters, like deep diving, right? Like just deep sea diving, right? Oh, divine masculine is actually the message that I have for you, and divine feminine too. So right, there's a lot going on, but let's look into the Lenormand that's tied to a bunch of bullets. But wait, wow, wow, look at the ship in the sky. It's like cranes or planes in the sky. And yes, I will reroute that bitch. Hey, hey, oh, oh, no, no. That's gonna be some new CLA shit, and it's one people in the chat said that. Oh, no, oh, oh, right. Ooh, but then there's main female in courthouse. So if you think you're gonna be here enjoying this in the middle of a zero, is a no, right? So again, who's born on the 11th? There's 110 people in here. So now that looks like you're going to jail. You're gonna die, and there's a lot of shit getting started. I'm talking about Lycos. I'm talking about Lycos. Hey, it's a one, and it's a one in the middle of a zero. It's a one. But on here though, that's true because in the middle of a zero is a one. That's invoking a portal function that can get me to star functions, and I can turn into a star, and maybe I can go supernova reverse and like just create like a whole other universe where you can't come because of your DNA, right? Which is what they're really talking about. They don't know what they're talking about because they're Europeans. Now, not the real ones. So find where you are on the spectrum. Because if I gave you a penny for your thoughts and they took a penny from your thoughts, then who are you then? Right. And it's one people in the chat as I say that, right? So here we go. There's hydrogen, right? And then you're on the stars and da 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 da. Right? And now look at this, right? You have a gift, right? But the number is 17, which is the star in the tarot. And because they're in the middle of the zero was a one, invoked a specific star function, right? Or portal function, right? And then there's the gift, right? That comes out. And that's why I'm talking about like being able to do these things in my kitchen, blah, blah, blah. You guys having great fun, and oh, the karmic died, wow, or oh, they're in court back and forth, and oh, and drama, and oh, and no way, and no way, oh. And it's 103 people in the chat, and 103 0 again in the middle. Portal function, that's 13. That's enough, right? So again, who was born in November, who's working on the 11th? So now, there is also gift, right? So gift, when you see this gift now, it's like, oh, you've gone through these portal functions, you did a lot, and now done, right? And like cranes in the sky. But the funny thing is, we're talking about dive in the ocean, right? And all these different things. Rock the boat. And the funny thing is, the boat is flying, right? So this boat has invoked portal functions because this is how they used to fly back in the day. Back and forth. So this deck is hella funny because it's exposing something about what New Orleans, right? We're going to talk about that in a minute. And it's exposing something about air and waters and intelligence. Because how is the boat? It's a boat. Shouldn't it be a plane if it's flying? It's like who? Ooh. How far can this get in the galaxy and universe? That's how we used to travel before you guys started a bunch of bullshit. Because you guys are going to start doing space travel without Elon Musk and the fear of children being molested because I put some shit on the internet and got somebody slop so hard. Thank you, Aisha Curry. Right. Right. And if you ever play with these kids, Kanan and them, and Riley and Anaya and Navia and all my nephews Redmond and them, right? All them, you guys are gonna really suffer. And his sister, all you guys are gonna really suffer. Stop playing with these kids and starting shit like that. Nyla Jackson, you playing with your daughter? Are you different hoes and shit like that? I feel like that's a message too. These masculines about your kids. That's the message that I'm seeing right here too with this boat, with this distance horizons. Because somebody try to anchor you and stop you from like building, have a generational legacy by tampering with your air and water intelligence. This is jealousy nonsense. This instability and everything. But you're a person of high honor. That's where you're getting setting wealth and the gift, right? And then you got the community card, being with your mate too. And this also looks like the hyphy movement again. I'm on full pills. Fuck how you feel, right? And it's 1044. That's 144. And I say that. Let me see what number 44 is. And I say that Professor Utonium. I say that because back in that day there was a lot more what do you call it? A lot more community and stuff like that. So there's gonna and now like I said, the Grand Theft Auto thing. It's like, oh, I'm coming into a place where I can go into the no mode, into the Obra mode, into O mode, right? And that's where you start to invoke that like skeleton head, right? And that's the hermitude, right? And that 13 that we talked about is the death card. And who's that? Braga Sunrun. Wow. Braga Sunrun has technologies. I like the image. It's actually hilarious. But it's okay, I'm taking it. That's why it's fucking. Whoa, and it said discovered 1844 in Russia. There's the 44 and take away the 8. Right? And then now what is it saying? It's saying here, oh, look at this. It looks like an eye. Because I'm about to dive in the ocean. Wow, and then look at it says 101. In the middle of a 0 is a 1. Right. Follow to my knees is expectation. That's true. She's from Pink. Right. From Pink. Hello. I'm telling you, my voice is going to end up in some like block of sound or not of sound, or somebody will get knotted in their head if they want to play and come over here and start a bunch of bullshit. But you want to know something that was so funny about how about this nonsense with this this chemical? This creates blockages like spiritually, right? So it says here, jewelry, plated, da da da. It creates blockages in your molecular layer to bind something else to it. So it creates a dual layer, and that type of thing is going. So somebody's realizing like there's wishy-washy shit. I don't want none of it, right? Are you solid? Right? I'm talking squareness to you, baby. Square bits like that. No, or then they change it to no squares allowed. But wait, come on now. When it says square, fools, that's like basically saying like, are you on the same page as me? As you like solid, like we're like matching here. It's like when they say like square business, like talk square business, like straight talk. Then they said, oh, no squares allowed. You see how they play with the language in that tone? And in different places, it means different things. But a buzz down is a buzz down anywhere, and that's why buzz down buildings is offline. No squares allowed. Man, you niggas ain't mobbing, dog, right? No squares allowed, right? Right, with the whole like little 1980s beat pop over it, right? Do 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 do. Keep having me on here if you want to, and you can get shot, right? So, anyways, now the funny thing here is, remember I told you my twin is from Russia too. He's Kwasan. I think that's so funny. 144 is here. Me. Am I the me? You are. Am I the me? You are. We're mates. We are mates. Like this. We have to be messy, right? Hi, brother. Right? It's like this. Are we mates? It's called ruthenium, like Ruth and Boaz, or ruthless, right? So, anyways, right. And now this brings me to the book of Jacob. Ecclesiastes 21, verse 4. Okay? And if you're truly divinating, bitch, do that in front of people. I got this scripture, and I know you Googled it because you went to go spy on somebody that was inspiring and actually living that life that you claim to live because you're on drugs. And oh, wow, right, this sounds cool for you too, right? Because I'm about to dive in the ocean. Wait. Right, so the funny thing is, right, I said, oh, two and one, right? 1 and 2. So helium has a 4, and then this has a 1. So, wait. And then Ecclesiastes 21, 4, right? Portal functions. This is how they work these numbers, and they do a whole bunch of bullshit in between, right? Oh, multiply this and add that together. That this is how they create what we call fucked off molecular layers that we're not resetting, and the chemicals are talking about it. Because if I put helium and hydrogen together, that's like a master matroid. That's called black tar heroin in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen, I'm a magician, but magician is number 1. But the magician reversed is the what? The assassin, the one who's hella negative, the complete destruction and misuse and abuse of the hydrogen, aka metal, aka mental element, and telepathy, and communication, and the technology. That is done. And there goes lithium. Most technology is made out of what? But if you're bipolar, you're missing this, right? Well, somebody now is a magician. He didn't got sold you. He don't went left and right. Well, he going this way. Oh shit. Oh, way. Well, if I give him this drink, he gonna go this way. This is how they used to talk in New Orleans. Ooh, that means he gonna go all the way. Ooh, shit. Ooh, he gonna wake up in my marriage room, but he already got a marriage room in somebody else's marriage room. Ooh, you looking into some drama. Ooh, shit. I may end up in the pulpit. Ooh, shit. Well, pastor already there. Go talk to God. No, because I want to get into that marriage room. I want to bring it to the marriage room. Girl, I'm gonna tell you something. He ain't even gonna he ain't gonna get past the first room. Let his wife take him to the basement and we drink it. What you mean by that? Girl, so many people done been in that marriage room. Where's the floors? Bitch, what are you talking about? It's a bust down. That's not wow. Okay. That marriage room ain't sweeping that room. Ain't shit in there. It's just a bust down. Why would I go up in there and start sweeping dirty water? Ooh. You disrespectful bitch. I said what I said. Stop playing with this act. That's that shoji. Make you go left and right. Shoji was Japanese sake. Shotojinju, eh? And Shotojinju is something that back in the day in hyperdimensional Asia, where people can teleport and do different things, and there was a bunch of herbs and shit like that people didn't destroy to do a bunch of nonsense, right? They had these different places called fun houses where you come and get dumpling and food. And I'm part Asian, chow takatrisway. So if I need to speak this in that language and start a bunch of bullshit because you guys are gonna go take this around, let's do that. Chengdao, I'm from the Bay, right? I'm from the Bay. That's how we speak, right? Right? And I'm also Asian. Chakatao Swai Thang. I'm from Zorzai. Hey, right? So someone said, are you racist? No, I'm from Zorzai. Oh, are you light skin or dark skin? Both. Depending on what shoju I drink, right? Or shoju ninja, right? Wow. I didn't know that's what it meant to be Asian. Neither did the world until they got caught hiding. Right. So hey, ooh, I forgot about like 1950s internment camps in San Francisco. What does that mean? Japantown in San Francisco, right? They took all the Japanese people out of the house because a lot of them were dark skinned. Wow. So now, wow. Just like most devs said, with the fat booty pants, goddamn, right? Miss Fat Booty. But he also said black on both sides, right? Yusef Bey, our brother, right? So now, who is a high priest? Hey, high priest. Hey, high priest. And Peter, the bunny, who was also the rabbit, that's also a high priest. Right. And don't look, the monkey at the end, right? Because he's taking a leap of faith, that Aries energy, right? And then here you go, the Wheel of Fortune drama is here now. So I say all that to say with these different chemicals, right, and everything that just came out on this ruthianum and all this other nonsense and polonium and all these different chemicals, all this other bullshit going on. High priest, stay afloat. Keep doing what you need to do. Again, high honor fell out, right, with these different wheels. Again, now you see all that different air, right? There's going to be a clean steam here, and again, there's going to be like straight shots forward. So one of the things here too, what I was saying with is why. Where's that card? Just this turn right. Now you have several ways to move across spaces. Just and with this reminds me of what we call the Pablo Escobar hippos, right? Who, because they ate all that cocaine to try and traffic it, it made them sick, they died. So they went to the spiritual realm with the plant cocaine all around and helped our people like planting and stuff like that so they can survive white supremacist warfare, right? That a lot of our masculines are like dealing with the whether professionally or hood, right? So now different intelligence is what we're talking about. So one of the things here is now in the spiritual realm, there's a lot of you feminines, right? Helping out. You didn't even know that. You suffered homelessness, things like that. In the spiritual realm, you were helping out. Just going to the people here, how many sex do you want? Well, what do you have? I'll take what you have. Let's see. That's good. And then who's your mate? Oh, this is just my brother. Okay, let's see. Let me scan that kasha. It said it's okay. Okay, just okay. Just that way, just right there, right breast. This hood there. Okay, because I said okay, just that way, right? And here, don't take just right straight to the nurse. Just that way, you see, right? Just straight that way. That's how they go. That's how they talk to them. Whisper in their ear, just secret missions and operations, destabilizing the whole DEA, asset and forfeiture department because they were taking everyone's drugs and reselling them. That's how these bitches had houses, even though they had no law degree, working in the government because they're all cyborgans doing sex rituals and starting hell shit and having pictures with Willie Brown's private parts in their mouth to keep their job. Right. So there's a lot going on here, and these masculines are dealing with that in every city and state and county, right? Because I got holes in different area codes, codes, holes, right? And this is what we're talking about, like global. Wow. Now I see. Hey, sister, in the chat, you're from Toronto, Metro Housing. I live in this hood over here in Washington, D.C. Let's talk. My masculine is down. Let's work, sister. Let's study. Bunny ears on, right? Oh, hey, I'm from Brockton and you're from Lawrence. Let's connect about how we can move nonsense out of our community. Hey, I'm from Oakland and you're from Los Angeles. Let's talk about how we can move different ratchets out of our hood and build and study and work and make money. Hey, you're from Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, Katy, Texas, Dallas, Texas. You know there's different environments. Hey, sister, you just live across the way. How about I make my way that way? Oh, she live right across that bridge. Let's go that way. Oh, she lived this way. Oh no, that's where the ratchets are. See, let's go that way, that way. Oh, hey, I may be from Bismarck or not Bismarcky, but she says I'm just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. And I say that because, oh, baby, right? You know, that's your masculine shit like that. But he's like working six of pentacles type shit, and then Ace of Cups, right? Because then, whoa, no. Whoa, and then the two of cups right there. No one can stop this. So amazing to be loved. Follow you from the moon and the sky above. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So amazing to be loved. Follow you from the moon and the sky above. Thank you, Peter and his wife. And please don't play with Peter. He's a high priest. He's like 70. So while you guys think that he's a cute rabbit, and hey, he's such a high priest, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm so horrible. I'm really terrible when it comes to that, right? Hey, right, hey, high priest, hey. Look at him, he's high priest with his sweater on. Hey, what night? Right? Peter has a brother named Clarence, which is so funny because Clarence has his ears down. So when you see a rabbit with his ears down, that means that he didn't study and he abused his divination and his powers, right? Because there's some of the greatest divinators and scientists on this planet. So Peter's brother is named Quincy. You can see him on YouTube too. They're always beefing, beefing over like putting goodness online, and Quincy's always trying to like shadow ban his channel. He's so messy because he's popular, right, in Asia and all across the world because Quincy has started many wars getting in people's business. So you know, the president of China, Xi Jinping, he says, "Oh, I have a rabbit," because in Asia, if you have a rabbit, you're special and you can divinate, right? Your rabbit can tell you things, and God, you just go that way. Soar like an eagle, Brandon. Right? Soar, because I'm about to dive in the ocean or dive like a swan or a duck or right? And not the rats, ducks, dogs, and pigs type like that Kichi is, but the other type of duck, right? Or swan, right? And he has started so many wars in China. That's why his ears are long and down. And he just goes on YouTube just to get snacks and food and make drama and put like comments on hood niggas like rap videos and shit like that and just start warfare. And why am I seeing his videos all over my feed? I must have to shoot him. That's the type of nonsense that they do with these animals, right? So cast spells, right? In space. Just right? Right. Right. So that's Peter's brother. So that's why we say, hey, he's such a high priest. Hey, because we've seen the opposite and how it inverted China or just wow, or Asia. So, anyways, it's 98 people and 89 likes. Let's go. And that's like my hyperjet. And as I'm leaving this planet, because this place is fucking bunk. But every nigga is a star. I didn't forget that. All right, you guys, stop playing with Kendrick Lamar because you will really get hit like real badly. Badly. He's a Gemini, the real kind. I'm one too. Hey, oh, she's a